10 minutes now.
Good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning. Something a little bit different here in our Cook Together kitchen. Hopefully you've all burnt up a good sweat from Jono and Jules this morning. My wife has.
Morning.
Even though her face wouldn't look it, I think she's getting a little too fit, and Jono and Jules are going to have to push her a little bit harder. Rehydrate, like she is. Get a little bit of prep done. We've got 2 or 3 minutes before we're going to start our cook today. And we're going to be able to do a lovely little breakfast.
As always, this one wants to say hello.
Say morning, Isabel. Say hello.
Mama.
Yeah, you can see Mama on there. How's everyone doing this morning? Good Saturday morning. You feeling fresh? Hopefully didn't overindulge last night. And if you did, you sweated some of it out. Got a good weekend now to kind of get back on track. So we're going to do a nice breakfast for something different. We'd like to hear your feedback on it. So obviously different time of the week, different time of the day, and if it's something you guys like, maybe we'll keep doing it. So let me know. Let me know who's all here. It'll be good to see who's checking in for a Saturday morning. A reminder of the ingredients. Let me take you across to them quickly, and I'll run you through what we've got. Okay, so you're doing sweet potato rosties. You should have 1 sweet potato. If you haven't yet, grate that. So what we've got in the bowl is 1 sweet potato grated. I've left the skin on for a little bit more nutrition in there, a little bit more fiber. So that's in there. If you've got a normal potato, that's fine. I'll talk you through the differences in a little bit. We've got some spring onion. That's 1 or 2 spring onions, just finely chopped. 1 egg here that's going to go into the rosti, and then 4 more to poach a little bit later. We've got some whole wheat flour. That's a 1/4 cup. If you want to keep it gluten-free, you can do some gluten-free oats and ground it down. You can do some almond flour if you want to. It's just going to bind the rosti a bit later. Our spices that we've got: 1/2 teaspoon of ground garlic and 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, and 90 grams of grated halumi. Right, so that's all ready to go. It's going to be super simple. We're really just going to bang it into a bowl, mix it together, make some rosties, some patties, and fry them off. And we're going to put some poached eggs on top of that. So it's going to be quick and easy. So get a little bit of prep done if you need to. Have a glass of water. I'm going to check in, see who's here. Any questions, fire away, and let's see who's all here. Liza's here, which is fantastic again. I think she's on a roll with us. And Simone, good morning. Catherine, good morning. I hope the family's all ready to cook up a nice storm. I think there's a full household there this morning. So I hope it's a delicious one for you guys. A nice way to start the weekend. Morning, Seri. She stepped over from the dark side into something a little bit easier here today. Was getting a lot of hate from clients today who are doing Seri's morning classes. What a way to start the day. Melissa van der Merwe, good morning. Carmen, any ideas for the halloumi substitute? So you don't need to put it in there. It's just going to add a little bit extra protein and some fat. It's going to melt and keep it together. Because of the egg and the flour, it'll hold together anyway. So if you want to keep it a little bit leaner, sure, you can do that. You can do normal cheese if you want to. You can do some vegan cheese in there. For the flour, I mentioned it just now, but in case you missed it, you can do some oat flour, you can do some almond flour. It's just going to help bind it. You might get away without it, but it just could be a little bit more brittle without the flour in there. Liza didn't get to the shops yesterday, so just here for some education, and going to try tomorrow then. Tanya, as always, who won the one-on-one program. How awesome was that? I think our #1 fan as well. If there's anyone who deserves it, it's you, Tanya. Well done. You can't believe it. Zita, yes, it's going to be yummy. Charlene's here with us. Simone, is a spring onion going into the potato mixture or grated onion? Yeah, so it's going to go into the potato mixture. So if you just want to grate some onion, that's fine. Pretty similar flavor. We're going to chop some at the end just for a little bit of sort of visual appeal. But we're going to get some onion in there for some flavor. Bron Collard's here. Good morning, Bron. The Strachan's ready to rock and roll. My mother's making breakfast again. Very good, Mom. Nikki, good morning. Karen, good morning. All right. I think we're just about ready to go, guys. If you haven't finished the last little bit of prep, grate your sweet potatoes or your potatoes, whichever you got. What I'm going to ask you to do is just squeeze some of the moisture out of them. So I've done that already, but just to show you what your sweet potatoes should look like, take a handful of them, take it over to the sink and just squeeze them out. You'll see there's nothing coming out now. So squeeze it until it runs nice and dry so that your potato mixture is dry. If it's a little bit wet when it goes in a couple of seconds, it's going to just be a little bit sticky, not so easy to hold together. So all of our stuff's ready. My sous chef has caught her breath from Jono's class and she's going to start us off. So in your mixing bowl, guys, start with the sweet potato in there, grated sweet potato. Remember, squeeze it out, get all the moisture out. And we're going to add each of the ingredients. So start, you can put the flour in there. This is the flour. That's the flour. Again, grated halloumi, or whatever cheese you're using, or if you want to keep it out, that's fine. And the grated halloumi is going in there. That was 90 grams of that. The spices can go into your garlic and cumin, your spring onions as well, and then the one of your eggs. Just give it a quick mix. There's a little fork for you there. Give it a little quick beat and throw that in as well. And then we're just going to mix that all together. Season it with a little bit of salt and mix it together so it forms a nice mixture. Yeah, that's good. So in there, and then just with that fork or a spoon and just give it a good mix around. Nice and easy. Season with a little bit of salt. Yeah. So that's all in there. And just give it a good mix. If it's too sticky, you can add a little bit more. Well, it shouldn't be too sticky. That's fine. If it's too wet, pop in a little bit more flour. You want to, once you form a little ball with it, it's just going to hold together nicely. So the mixture looks pretty good there. If you got most of the moisture out of the sweet potato, should be good to go. So it's going to form a nice sticky mixture. We're going to make little balls, little patties, and fry them off. Pretty much as simple as that. Okay, so give that a second. Now, the rest of our equipment that we've got here, 2 pans. Right, so we're going to fry the patties in, or the rosties in one, and we're going to poach the eggs in the other. So the small pan here that we're going to show in front is we're going to fry off the rosties, and at the back, put a bit of water in it. I'm going to show you what I like to poach eggs in. It's a nice deep pan like that. So that's our poaching pan. I filled it with some water, and we're just going to get that on the heat so the water can start to come to a nice slow boil. Right, I'm going to keep it at the back. So deep pan, fill it with water, and get it on. Right.
Sounds like put these in bowls.
Yeah. Now, while that water heats up to poach the eggs, with your mixture, you can form them into little sort of golf-size clumps. Put them together. And all we're going to do, pop those in a pan, flatten them down, and fry them off super quick. All right. So make little balls with those. Yeah, about that size. Here's going to show you one ball size. That's perfect. And we'll just put them aside and get all the balls together. Okay, so all of your mixture is going to go into a nice ball. All right, Greg, does the vinegar go in now? No. So the vinegar is going to go into the water when we poach the eggs. So why we do that is just the acid helps keep the egg white together so it doesn't go all over the show in the pan, and it's going to help us poach them a little bit better. How's everyone doing? Renee just wants to re-explain the Rosties. So what went into there was the grated sweet potato that we squeezed all of the water out. We had the grated halumi, 90 grams of that went in there. We had the chopped spring onion, then half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of cumin, a little bit of salt, and 1 egg. Make a little mixture and form them into some balls, and we're going to fry those off nice and quickly. Okay, so that's all going there. Does that help? Any questions, guys? It's a pretty slow process today. It's the morning, so we're all taking a little bit of time to get going. I don't think there's enough coffee. So get that all going. Mixture should be good. We've got the balls almost ready to be fried off. Once those start going, we're also going to poach the eggs. Renee wants me to wait. Okay. Cindy's here taking notes. Cindy, one of our star runners, who missed out on the last leg of the marathon series this year because of coronavirus. Fascinating story. Go pop onto Cindy's page and read some of her history with the running. She's on our running program, which is slightly different to the way she's trained in the past, and really doing quite well. Super stuff. I hope your run this morning was good, Cindy. And now it's some notes for breakfast. Might try them a little bit later, maybe tomorrow. Bank this one in the recipe book. Who else is here? Jade's joined us, Coach Jade, Coach Bridget. Nice to see you guys. How is everyone doing? All right, so mixture is going into some balls. The water's heating up. Our daughter's throwing things all over the place. That's what manic mornings in the family kitchen are all about. Jade's hungry. We're almost there. We're going to start cooking soon, guys. All right, all the coaches are here. Can I make them all? We don't need to cook them all right now. So what's great about this, guys, is the once we've fried off the Rosties, use a couple this morning, put a couple in the fridge. They'll last there for 2 or 3 days. You can just reheat them in the oven for 10 minutes. You can also freeze them, so you've got nice individually portioned ones, and nice to get a good source of carbohydrates in the morning. So you guys have all trained, hopefully. If you can do John and Jules' class, you've got out and you've done your run. The morning's the time that we want to get a little bit more fuel in, so the body's in a bit better shape to accept it. You'll see on our one-on-one programs, we've pretty much always got some carbs in the morning. It doesn't have to be cereal. We're using a lovely starchy veg here, or sweet potato. So it's a fantastic way to get it in. Had quite a few questions about sweet potato versus potato. A bit of a myth, the difference between them. Nutritionally, they're quite similar. Nothing makes a sweet potato any better than a normal potato unless you just like the flavor of it. So carbohydrate-wise, it's pretty similar. If you're eating them with the skin on, the fiber content's pretty similar. You get a little bit more vitamin E from your sweet potato, which is nice. But I wouldn't demonize one over the other. So whichever one you like, use it. For this, we've kept the skin on, so we get more fiber into the dish. Remember our motto of protein, fiber, and fat. That's all in there. So we got some good fiber. We kept the skin on. If you're going to do that, just give it a good scrub so it's nice and clean. But you're going to get some great nutrition from whichever potato you choose, and everything else that's popped in there as well. All right. So sous chef's balls are all done.
Feel like I
And on our frying pan, we're just going to heat that to a medium heat with a tablespoon of olive oil. So you just want the oil to coat the bottom of the pan. And it's important here that you get it hot before we fry the Rosties. If your oil isn't hot, it's going to soak up all the cooking oil, and then you're going to be left with quite a, how beautiful are those? Little golf balls of deliciousness. So you should have all your balls ready to cook off, and we're going to pop those in 2 or 3 in the pan at a time, depending how big your pan is. Ours will take 2, I think. We'll put 2 in, and we're going to flatten it with the back of a spatula, and then fry for 2 minutes each side. Super simple. Meanwhile, our water that we're poaching the eggs in is heating up at the back. You can see it. So you can see little bubbles forming. We want a slow boil there, or just sort of fine bubble, and we're going to throw in a tablespoon of vinegar to that to help us poach the eggs. One of the sort of best ways to, personally I think, to cook an egg, poaching, love it. We're going to keep ours nice and soft. If you want to cook them for a little bit longer for something harder, that's great. I've tried all sorts of different ways of poaching eggs, stirring the pots and trying to keep everything together. I found this to be the simplest, cleanest, quickest method. We're literally going to put it in the water with some vinegar in a bit once it gets to heat. All right, so our oil is looking nice and hot, I think. Feeling pretty good. So once that comes to heat, put 2 or 3 patties in there and squash it down with the back of a spatula. So Grace's going to do that. Squash it down. Yeah, so it's nice and flat. There we go. There we go. So your balls of mixture are in the pan, and you are just squashing them with your spatula, and they're going to cook for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes each side. Right. June missed the first part. Have you got the recipe? So all the ingredients are posted on our page if you want to check them out. Pretty much everything just goes into the mixture, into the mixing bowl. We've grated all the vegetables together. You've kept 4 of your 5 eggs aside for us to poach. 1 of them went into the bowl, and we made a nice mixture that we're going to pop out there. Liza wants us to change the angle of the video. Let's see. I don't want to break anything, Liza, sorry. Jethro, I don't know if you can switch the angle that's on the cooking station there. No, 2 minutes aside. So they should take a little bit going. Georgie wants to know, is coconut oil okay? That's fine. Whatever oil of choice you want to cook with here will be fine. Main thing is just the flavor that it'll impact. All right, how's everyone doing? You still with us? Okay, so those are frying off, 2 minutes aside. In the top corner, you can see our water's got a nice flow of oil on it, and we're going to add just turn the heat down if it's a little bit hot, and a tablespoon of vinegar goes into your water. So that's going to get ready to poach up. You've got some kitchen towel, just put that aside as the Rosties come out. Stack them on there. Whatever we don't eat today can go into the fridge for tomorrow or through the week. So a nice way to do a little bit of meal prep. I'm just going to turn the heat down on that. It's a little bit brown, but it's fine. How's everyone else's looking? What is this weight of sweet potato? So we used 1 sweet potato. I did weigh it. It was actually 340 grams. So it's sort of one medium sweet potato is the size it went, and then you're going to get quite a few Rosties out of this, which will be great. All right, Siri, they are looking good. They're looking delicious, nice and brown. That's perfect. So nice and brown. The halloumi would have started to melt, holds it all together nicely, and the flavors are going to be great. And we're just going to cook those off in batches. All right. So remember, little blob of mixture, flatten it at the back of your spatula, and cook it for about 2 minutes over a medium heat on each side, and we'll get through the batch. We're going to do 4 or 5 of them, and I'm going to show you how to poach an egg in 3 minutes, and then we're done. We can serve. If you'd like to have this with anything on the side, a little bit of smoked salmon would be fantastic. You can add some cottage cheese if you want to, for a little bit, some more creaminess in there. Some avo would be fine as well. Just depends on your goals. So if you want a bit of protein, go with a little bit of maybe some bacon or salmon would be good. If you want a bit more fat, you can go on the avo side. One question we've had come in a couple times was on our one-to-one program. We're quite sort of strict with not adding extra fat when we're using eggs because we got the fats in the eggs already. In this instance, I was asked, why is there halloumi in here as well? So the halloumi is actually a pretty good source of protein as far as your cheeses go. So it is a source of fat, but we've just toned down the portions of both. So we're getting half of our protein from our eggs and half of it from halloumi. They both come with a source of fat, so to keep the meal balanced, we're not going to serve it with avo in this instance. We're just going to have it deliciously like it is. Maybe if we've got some leaves in the fridge, some rocket or baby spinach, that's going to go in there with it. But just to keep it balanced, all depends on your goals, guys. All right. Ingredients have been posted, so if anyone needs to catch up, have a quick look. They're on the page. I think we've just popped them in there as well. Okay, let me know how you guys are going. You're going to poach the eggs. So, do you want to move that to the back pan?
Okay.
So, I've got a nice deep pan here filled with water that we're going to poach the eggs in. You can use a pot, whatever, just something that's going to hold a good sort of 2 inches of water, and that's going to be able to cover the egg once you get it in there. So it's just some nice hot water, almost on a boil, and a tablespoon of vinegar. We're going to get that hot. And a slotted spoon. And a measuring cup. So Isabel is using ours to flavor. We'll just get another one. I'll show you. So measuring cup. I don't know if you can see that. And we're going to cook, well, we're going to pop the eggs in here one at a time. So just so we don't break it straight into the water. So the eggs in a measuring cup, the water is nice and hot, there's some vinegar in there, so hopefully when it goes in, it's going to hold the shape nicely and won't go too far all over the place. Okay, let's get a spoon out. Our water can be a little bit hotter. Okay, so we're just going to pop those around, and 3 minutes time, we're going to have some beautiful poached eggs. They're going to go on top of our Rostis. Let's pour it in nice and slowly. They kind of hold together. Shake the egg whites. The fresher the egg, the better. So these have been here for a couple of days. But having nice fresh eggs will have less running egg whites. So this one looked quite runny when I was cracking it, so this might go all over the place. Okay, but the vinegar in there is helping hold it together. And you'll literally cook those guys for 3 minutes. And they're going to be ready. Alright. How's everyone doing? Are your eggs in? Are your Rostis cooking nicely? Let's see, any questions? Rostis are completely disintegrated. Okay, so problem there, maybe we didn't squeeze the water out. So if your potatoes, so we lost a child. If your potatoes, you didn't quite squeeze all the water out of it. It might have been a little too wet, and it will fall apart. If you didn't bind it with flour, or maybe didn't use the egg, you wouldn't have kept it together. So just run through your ingredient list there, see maybe where you missed out on that. It should hold together nicely, the flour and the egg, and as the cheese melts, it's going to keep it together. All right. Any other questions, guys? How are we all doing? Eggs should be poaching. We've got a minute and a half left on those. Renee wants to know what we're doing with the baby spinach. It wasn't on the list. I just thought I'm going to see what's in our fridge, but it'll go nicely. Adding some greens at the end. We'll have the Rosti, put some rocket or baby spinach just on there with it and form a little stack with the poached egg on top. Okay, so poached eggs need to be soft. So they've been in for 2 minutes. And slotted spoon, you can just kind of check how they're going. Make sure the white's cooked through. And if you want a hard poached egg, which it shouldn't really ever be, there's no fun in that, just cook it for a little bit longer. But these guys are almost ready to go. So they're going to come on straight onto the plates and we'll dish up. So you guys done a beautiful job. We've got 4 Rosties there. And I'm going to plate the egg straight onto that and you can serve it up. We do have some baby spinach in the fridge.
What are you mixing that?
Looks a little bit wilted, but nothing wrong with that. So we've got some Rosties, we've got some baby spinach, and my eggs are going to come straight out. Okay. Slotted spoon so all the water can come out. Beautifully poached egg, all nice and soft. It's gonna look beautiful. I'm gonna break it open. This one's really keen to break open.
Oh, that looks great.
So you guys worried about that, I'm gonna go a little bit longer. This one's good. Okay, so you just want it to be soft to the touch, but all the white has cooked nicely, so there's no undercooked egg whites. We'll pop that on there. Okay, we'll let our last egg just cook with the heat off. And if you're going to pop on anything else here, now would be the time if you want to put some smoked salmon on there for some more protein. If you want some avocado for more fat, I think this looks delicious as we've got our carbohydrates, we've got our protein and the fat that's in there. So protein, fiber, fat, all on the plate there. All right. So a little bit of salt and pepper, and we have it. How good is that, guys? Lovely. Cut it open. See how it goes. And that's beautifully poached egg. It's favorite part of the day, breakfast. Get the day started right. So nice, quick and easy. We've got some Rosties. There's still plenty more cooking off. So whatever you don't get to today, pop those into the fridge. You can use them tomorrow. You can freeze them. They'll last 6-8 weeks. Just take them out, put them in the oven for 10 minutes to reheat, and play around with whatever you want to top it with. So obviously today we've done eggs, do some cottage cheese as a quick easy breakfast in the morning, some smoked salmon. I've got a bit of leftover mince from the night before. Nice way to get protein into breakfast, which is always something I think most of us are missing out on. So we've got all the components on a plate here. Hopefully it's going to help you recover from your training session this morning, or whenever you are training. So carry it over to tomorrow if you haven't quite got the ingredients yet. All posted on the page. Have a quick look there. Stock up if you're going to do it again tomorrow. But it's been fun cooking with you guys again. Post your pictures. Let's see what your breakfasts look like. Let's see the flair that you've added there. And I can't wait to cook again with you guys on Wednesday. We're doing a spiced pumpkin soup with some meatballs for a nice winter warmer. So have a great weekend, guys, and we're going to see you midweek. Cheers.